So we have a classic case of, you know, F around and find out. So this guy who was basically a serial swatter, uh, finally got his just desserts. I hope he's hungry. So, this worthless waste of life, Alan W. Fillion, age 18, of course, California, was sentenced to 48 months, just say 4 years. It's like when people say, my baby is 24 months old. Just say 2 years old. Just say 2 years old. Don't, or my baby is 12, you know, however, like 14 months or whatever. Just, just say a little over, just say like a year old. Just stop. So 4 years, 4 years for making interstate threats to injure the person of another. Fillion claimed on a post on January 20th, 2023, that when he swats someone, he usually gets the cops to drag the victim and their families out of their house, cuff them, and search the house for dead bodies. So this dude is just a menace to society. And let me just put it out there. Since he's in California, we know what California is filled with. If you do this shit, you're a fucking loser. If you're on the right and you do this shit, you're a fucking loser. If you're in the middle, you do this shit, you're a fucking loser. Okay? People have died by getting swatted. People's animals have been killed during these fucking swats because these fucking losers think it's hilarious to send a SWAT team over to someone else's house. Okay, so if you do it, you're a fucking loser. I don't care what side you're on. According to the plea agreement, from approximately August 2022 to January 2024, made over 375 swatting and threat calls, including calls in which he claimed to have planted bombs in the target locations or threatened to detonate bombs or conduct mass shootings at those locations. Fillion targeted religious institutions, high schools, colleges and universities, government officials, and numerous individuals across the United States. Apparently, Tim Pool and Jeremy from the Quartering were two people of, on his list. So of course they're celebrating that they're swatter. I mean, Jeremy is telling how his freaking wife was brought out in handcuffs, middle of the night, brought out in handcuffs because this fucking waste of life wanted to do this crap. Oh god, flashbang. Let's see, was there anything else? Fillion intended his calls to cause large-scale deployment of police and emergency service units to the targeted locations. During these calls, he provided information to law enforcement and emergency service agencies that he knew to be false, such as false names, false claims that he and others had placed explosives in a particular location, false claims that he and others possessed dangerous weapons, including firearms and explosives, and false claims that he and other individuals had committed or intended to immediately. Is it raining again? It was raining before, but it sounds like it's getting worse. Or intended to imminently commit violent crimes. Hard to tell. Or is it maybe just the... Okay, maybe I think it's just the heat. I'm looking out and I'm seeing the tree by my window. Like, ooh, that only happens when the heat's on. I don't even think it's really that even that windy out. Yeah, it's not even that windy out. So I think it's just my heat. Sometimes you can't tell. Because it was raining before and it still is. In some instances, enforcement officers approached and entered a targeted residence with their weapons drawn and detained individuals that occupy the residence. Indeed, Fillion claimed in a post on January 20th, 2023, that when he swats someone, he usually gets the cops to drag the victims out with their families out in handcuffs, out of the house, cuff them, and search the house for dead bodies. Little fucking waste of life. Additionally, Fillion's calls caused law enforcement officers and dispatchers to respond and to unbelievable and be unavailable in response to other emergencies. Yeah, Yeah, that's what fucking happens. This dude is a menace to freaking society. He is a complete waste of oxygen. And people like him need to be made an example of. They need to be made an example of. Because then, now they'll realize that, oh, gee, maybe there's a consequence to my terrible choices in life. Philly became a serial swatter for both profit and recreation. He claimed in January 19th, 2023, online on an online post that his first swatting was like 2 or 3 years ago. And that 6 to 9 months ago, he decided to turn it into a business. On several occasions, Fillion placed posts on social media channels advertising his services for a swatting for a fee structure. Why did no one decide, like, oh, hey, maybe we should report this? Or was he reported to the FBI and everyone's like, oh, it's probably just a joke. It's, he's been on our radar, but we didn't do anything about it. Just shows how fucking useless the FBI is. On January 18th, 2024, is arising from a May 2023 threat he made against a religious institution in Sanford, Florida. In that threat, he claimed that he illegally modified AR-15, a Glock 17 pistol, pipe bombs, Molotov cocktails. He said he was going to imminently commit a mass shooting and kill everyone he saw. He pleaded guilty in federal court to making the threat. Seriously, waste of life. uh, Fillion also pleaded guilty to making 3 other threatening calls on an October 2022 call to a public high school in the Western District of Washington, in which he threatened to commit a mass shooting and claimed that he had planted pipe bombs throughout the school. A May 2023 call to the historically black college or university in the Northern District of Florida, in which he claimed to have placed bombs in the walls and ceilings on campus housing that would detonate in about an hour. In July 2023, call to a local police department dispatch number in the Western District of Texas, in which he falsely identified himself as a senior federal law enforcement officer, provided the federal law enforcement officer's residential address to the dispatcher, claimed to have killed the federal officer's mother, and threatened to kill any responding police officers. So this guy, once again, is a fucking waste of space. The FBI and U.S. Secret Service investigated the case with valuable assistance provided by the Seminole County, Florida Sheriff's Office, the Anacortes, Washington Police Department, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and the California Department of Justice, the Los Angeles County, California Sheriff's Department, and the Volusia County, Florida Sheriff's Department. U.S. Attorney Kara Wick for the Middle District of Florida prosecuted the case, with valuable assistance from the National Security Division's Counterterrorism Section, the State Attorney's Office, Seminole County, Florida, 18th Judicial Circuit, blah blah blah. But yeah, so this kid is a fucking piece of shit. Again, I don't care what side you're on. If you do this kind of thing, you're a fucking loser. You can say what you want about me, that I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm an incel, I'm a chud, I live in a basement. I don't do this shit now, do I? So I'd rather be a fat basement-dwelling chud than some fucking waste of space in life that goes around 370-something times, having SWAT teams sent to people's homes, risking harm to those families, all because he's a fucking piece of shit. So I'm happy being a basement-dwelling chud. So, despite the fact that I don't actually live in a fucking basement. But, even if I did, I would more than happy accept that title, because at least I'm not doing crap like this. You think we're a problem, oh, you're basement-dwelling chuds and your stupid comments and your opinions. Yeah, well, at least we're not doing this. So, it's good he finally got what he deserved. And 4 years isn't enough. Not enough. But what do you expect? What do you expect? It should. So 375 years alone. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.